Fast forward, ini kamu awak channel so ahap age politics abadi. Punya podcast terus terpilih mikir mikir headlines. Ini genre na ADB aksumu awak ini dia punya hubrak siamu yang ko politika hawi sini. Jadam a enye asam kutu akra. Na Kevin Taylor ina meno kasih. What me a hit hard on a former President John Addo Kuffour punya pemikir hor exposisi bi afan abra na oti punya susu omong panyin. Punya asemno enya asam kutu akra. Mestrese yemongrum na kumuhuye jene kwa kwenu yemura Kevin Taylor sweye na ombo yinchumu chana sumamse aksim AGH politics avenue young political highways.
Akufo di 87 years nyamin shraw and nyame ento de inshra endu engu so 87 enye nyina ne be di 87 maka kire me yire se me di 86 a ombo mitu nkume enti we bi timi 1 nyame nhyirawo ka kire me yire se me di 86 years pe onfa me gina bontene madi nka aka ombo mitu ntontwene ehwa na me pe no enti ya papa Kuffour edi 87 years which is not bad ana I hope it's 87 and we would like to wish him a happy birthday. And I would like to say to your Papa Kuffour, say, Osuma Odebesum Ghana, or so ye in the part. A woman say, when to man some Ghana, send ye a penno. No cry, near person would ditch Ghana for. Sebio or Tanya or the tiny pebit is a chicatamo and a rollins mo. A nipa informs so. Edu Pempensubia, Ebia, before one Amokai said the ultrasan or Udims and the Chia. Ebia to me a bedin in sa. Ene efutuboni bia ne nyonkofo bi ma no anase ebi ono ankasa ma no ho kwan e ma ni pebi de ma no ntina e ma ni take some decisions bi but onyame de ohwe yakomam ene ntina bia ye papa Kuffour inhira oda wote ase nti eba ye papa sem ene osoma wosom Ghana de a betuma ka se anso eni nanso sebio esene ketremanya asem a omo aneka wabe papa yi de na ye papa mesa ye MPP ni ba sebio menyina wa MPP mu a me hu se me nuanom no bi gimi a mete me ho a metu omofo no woda ho ye papa wo ye MPP ni nti nyame nhyira eye new eye age we na mfia aka no sebio onfa nka wo ho na sebio nipa bi a ebia wo fom mo a eda ho hye wo so hawo wobetubenya ahon sakra afro mo sebio apa mo chew anase wakome mu no wa bompa ye amonyame de achew. Now, birthday we there, one of those birthdays are we show well. Our political life there, it is not that good. But your life as a dad, your life as a husband, wherever your beautiful wife is, she's going to be proud of you because you kept your home, you kept your family, you lived as a family man. That I'll give to you. But about politics, I cannot give all to you because you really messed up when it comes to politics. Because from ranting brim no ebia nyoma bebre awo ya na mfaso ni so a ebia ahantan ene sebi timodin kakranti ama wehu se na sebi de awo ye no emfa kwem ebi ti se wo chi chachu kata tu ma wonim se de na wo ye ne enye ekwan awde jeje Rollins fa so opeso tu kwan nyina jeje ne tight ne nyoma free ni sema nyoma anka wo se onya as former president awjeje a obre kaka ho nsem nyina obu wani gusu ni nyina na enye se ne awde Ghana sika ekoto gold betu kom ebo ho samra hene onyame nkoa ene si ne ho hene a osi ho hene wo Ghana ni nyina na ntwa kwan mu abayo ya empra 70 ebema de fa sika koye ni nyina na enye Ghana at 50 sika ye forensic audit campaign forecast woni brobe impieni mo wie sika ne yanchi muntuma odi woni gusu a onim se bone na odi ya ebesin de omda empa Ghana for chaw ni nyina nye ensembi ne nyoma bi hotel wawa nyoma bebre awo ye ya na ntwa kwan mu toilet ai ka se fasika fa ye impundwuma de si toilet ani nyina no fa so bi amba so no ni nyina no ne wa ha enti eye drill ship a ni nyina koko a enso ko yira ye Benjamin eye yehu cocaine hu nsem ene nsem bebre sisi ye under your watch a yeti hei Ghana Telecom a woton ye a wo ye president a wo do Ghana na nka so o masa anyoma ni nyina no ekwa ugina mu masa anyoma ni nyina nipa bi edi ebone keti amono kro no koko etumi eyira wo poso na ship no sa anyoma we nyina eyigu akache egu resume so a sebio ada otwedi ampo nyame be frɛw So Jaji wo wankasa obra so dia sebi papa and the heaven the obura. So the politics can what they are papa bedding. Na no so no enkyere se onye papa ye do ye papa Kuffour na ende wawoda we die onyame ento nkwam na wonhyiraw. Papa mate se wa grant interview bebre. Former papa na papa nice. Happy birthday to your papa. Now, your papa, mate say only bloggers be a interview. Na at this point, you know, anka uhwe pa interview o grantee, you know. Your papa, anything extraordinary. Mahu se Ghana for bebre ka ho nsem. But to me, you know, I think say it's one of the weakest interviews what granted in your career as a politician. You didn't really say anything new. And in that process of you trying to maybe throw Akuffo under the bus because maybe you feel say o legacy no ya papa Kuffour no right now MPP for Canada because do don't free few. It's party no you want to find a way to throw Akuffo under the bus to make your name come up to say because like you said obi any MPP mo betumaya campaign without your legacy. Akuffo has no legacy. It's you know who say somebody will be crazy to even campaign without mentioning you, whatever you left behind, because Akuffo is not intelligent enough to receive any kind of credit. And we all know, say, obi a we Jimmy no be Akuffo so campaign. The only thing I can say, you expect to say, obi a person be the MPP enimbiano also use wo recorder sebio papa manusi sumina so. And one shadante as a president no a campaign. Now, and then I catch them team and they say, your interview with bloggers, it wasn't anything extraordinary. There was nothing special about it. You were basically speaking to NPP delegates. You were basically telling them, say, even though Bawumia is a loser, is a liar, they should go out in their numbers to continue the criminality of Akuffo and the NPP. That is all. You were just charging the base in their head, no. You were just directing them to go and vote for Kuffour. That was why you were talking to a blogger. At this point, I expect you to be granting interviews to multi-million-dollar media houses with intelligent, without due respect. I don't have any problem with the people who interviewed you. I don't know them. I don't have an issue with them. But this is my opinion. I expect say Kuffour say Okasa, Abia the BBC Hard Talk, Abia CNN, MSNBC, Al Jazeera, like quality interviews, questions, fact-based questions, fact-based follow-ups, intellectual questioning. But I feel say well lower standard now to the point to say, and it'll be out to Bawumia. And I understand because the MPP based and as a delegate, say majority of them bloggers no mutie. They are not intelligent to that point where they will understand real issues and real analysis. That is why you feel say when you go this route, you go the weak route, the what we call a social media sensationalism route. Now, it might give you some they might give you some attention. That is why I'm saying, say, I have no problems with the people who grant you interviews all over the place. But I believe, say, you some of the platforms you grant interviews, you can see, say, blog gets you know what I mean. You're up there. And I was telling my team, say, there was nothing exceptional about what you did, the interview you granted. We have always known you and what you believe and stand for. You have always stood behind what we call lies. And the reason why I'm saying this is simple. Papa, on your birthday, I want to make it easy. Okatre, in your blogger's interview, said, I was not consulted on National Cathedral project. Kuffour reveals. This is no news. And why are you saying this now? It is looking like, say, Papa, every time we try asemu see nipa bi di abone try a tro omo wie na omo say ye wie no, then you step in like, oh, openyina otifie mayaka nankarefo One kasa yebeka se nankano uwibi. And this interview we granted me huniti ehuni because we have always known to say you have not been honest with Ghanaians when it comes to national issues. You have departed from patriotism. And that is the problem people like us we have with you. You have departed from patriotism. You are still not allowing the party in you to take over, to understand the say, you are a statesman. And it is not about the NPP. It is about Ghana and how we can, at the end of the day, have this kind of progress, this kind of development, devoid of who is from here or who is coming from here. But it looks like you are still struggling to move away from your party. You have detached yourself from patriotism. Your statesmanship has been taken away because you have allowed your partisan side, to overshadow your patriotic side. And Intina, recently when you grant interviews, it sounds like broken record. Mr. Ex-President, if you were not consulted on National Cathedral, do you think I care? Do you think any Ghanaian cares? Because if you were even consulted, and because you want to protect your party and the people who you know are doing the wrong thing, you wouldn't have come out to tell us to say you don't agree and that they should stop. You wouldn't have done it. And you not being consulted does not change the narrative here that if you had even been consulted, and still they would have done what they did. The reason I make a Ghana for say, yeah, Akuffo interview a grantee, it is all about America. You see George Bush, who is a former president or Republican, a grantee interview. Do you think the Republican Party cares? No. Party, maybe I say do as Republican Party, they will not care about George Bush. The NPP now say to the point where it is not granting interview to bloggers or indirectly trying to reach out to the base Bawumia to change the destiny of the party. No. I am being respectful here because I respect Akuffo very well. Into these things, Papa, you cannot isolate anybody from these things. In 2020, on Mountain Stage Catcher say, upon the killings, every single thing we had seen, the high number of people who were unemployed, the deliberate disrespect for the rule of law, the corruption. You saw all these things. You still came out to tell us to vote for Kuffour. You had seen Ayaso West Wagon. You had seen Ejapade. You had seen PDS. You had seen all the things that were never reasonable for anybody to even, for one say, hey, you saw all these things. You never commented. You still came out, final day of election, to tell us you should all go and vote for Kuffour to continue. That's why I'm saying that you have allowed your partisanship to overshadow or cloud. And yet your patriotism, it has taken over it. So right now, you are struggling to get out of it, and you are struggling because when you're ready to be patriotic. So these interviews with these bloggers to please NPP delegates base for them to line up to go and continue Akuffo's legacy, because you told us in 2020, say Mahamudu Bawumia and Akufo, all that they have done, you still want us to continue, so we should go out and vote for them. That is what you told us. You did not care about the economy, jobs that were being destroyed, the corruption, the nepotism, the disrespect for the rule of law, how they were. You did not care about any of these things. All that you did was you did party job. This is not new. There's nothing exceptional about what you just said yesterday. I don't think anybody in Ghana is shocked. I don't think Ghana and Libya sorry say, hey, Kuffour Neka say. Nobody should be shocked. And I don't think anyone is shocked because you have shown us from Tetinyina Besia. Nana Dankwe Kuffour told us he wanted to hand over to Bawumia. And you were there. You said yes. You knew what Kuffour had done. You knew what Bawumia had supported. You still went ahead and said we should vote for the NPP. Team, give me video. Team, give me video and let me show to yeah, papa. Nobody's surprised. Then, so when I see people making noise, Kuffour can say, no, this is normal. This is normal level. Bibian's sign. It is still the same Kuffour we know. The same Kuffour who pretends he loves Ghana, but he doesn't. The same Kuffour who always chooses his party over citizenry, omo plight. That has been you. And I was expecting you to say, the last 8 years, a bet you less him, you can say, no, enough is enough. You need a party. At this point today, let us put Ghana before. But you never did. Nana Addo Kuffour stood before Ghanaians in 2024 after people were shot in 2020 elections, after PDS, after Ejapadieh, after Galamsey swallowing your own hometown in the Ashanti region, after the disrespect to the rule of law, after our judiciary at the end of the day was broken into pieces, after you saw how pensioners as you yourself were dying because DDEP took their money, Ejio Musika. After you saw all these things, you still follow the Kuffour to tell us, say, he's going to hand over to Mahama Bawumia, and you endorsed and said yes.
So be Ghana how to be a D Akuffo me no one dance here. I am men and other than Kuffour. Now me say Ghana for so when it's here masam. When it's here masam. Now to me now you have a prayer 7th December no. Then former Mahama Bawumia and Matthew Poku Prempe. One and a bit to me a trade man. And this is paying for no. Say, Yantia say, me say, need to be Jamachi, Emma. Now, for one and Jimmy watching here, be a mayor, but me at my child. Only Babby 2 were Kunano, I think I may have been for no Babby Kunano, Ambassador, Ambassador. Wait. The next president of the Republic of Ghana.
That's what we witnessed. Send out to a catcher and say, Kuffour. Some people in MPP wanted to see my back when I had 39 in the 1996 elections. What are you trying to say? In 1996, when you had 39%, Bawumia 38, I am Bawumia. Papa, yes, sir. What you are doing is not statesmanship. What you are doing is not patriotism. What you are doing, you are stabbing the nation in the back. You are choosing party politics. You are choosing a party that has stabbed this nation in the back over the nation that made you who you are. In 1996, now VW, Tafreka, when you got power in 8 years, you are one of the richest people in Ghana. It means we made you who you are. So please, sometimes let's put the party politics aside. So when you're 39 in 1996, Enti Bawumia 38, and that message Ghanaians sent in 2024 December, they sent it to you. They sent it to Bawumia. They sent it to Agove. They were telling them, say, we are not stupid, but still, Akuffo, you still see us to be stupid. The 38% of Bawumia, that message was to you, that do not ever again try and give us people who don't have our interest at heart. That was the message. The young people who went out there in the 16 regions to vote against the NPP for Bawumia to get 38%, they were telling you that don't do that again. You found yourself with criminals. You endorse criminals. Let's say 2020 was an oversight. 2024, we cannot forgive. You are still doing it. It means you still don't care. Today is your birthday. Now the question I want to ask you, Papa, Kuffour, is, Addo Nana Addo Kuffour has not availed himself to Obiambe interview no. Yet per the immediate president we free aban yepe obi a or the right to speak on governance today in Ghana is Kuffour. Yeah, papa. Why do you think Kuffour na uni ni mienu stage? Kuffour na unim di oye nyina eku Ghana for still you went ahead to say we should vote for him 2020. Not the same Kuffour na after 2020 osako so more mayhem. Udi de say na bedi echire na wa support no amana say Ghana eku nipa no they should still vote for Abedi Echire to continue Kuffour's legacy no. Why do you think Kuffour has not come out boldly to say I am campaigning for Bawumia? Papa, mama woma nipa bi enkwara bi emayen twetwe. You are above bloggers interview. You are above partisan politics. Mema nkwara twetwe. Mema bloggers so light in so and treat you to say there we be to say Bulgaria. Mema bloggers enya konwe bia na papa wotena so. Enya konwe bia na etena so. You cannot share a inkonya with anybody. No. That is why some shows, some programs, Oba Brucha, 90 minutes, and you'll be in that seat. Do not just avail yourself. The question is, are they in Kuffour or no jai abainim? Edema John Mahama, are they not only the right person to mount any stage and say, when my Bawumia, this Bawumia is my immediate deputy. Why is he not taking charge to prove to Ghana for say a Juma or a Juma when a chess also? Why hasn't he availed himself for people to question him about the credibility of his deputy Bawumia? Why do you think Kuffour hasn't done that? Adentina bloggers nenta Mike Enkorno. Why has he blocked everyone from coming? Why are you allowing yourselves for these people to use you? You have gotten to that age where a majority of us here in Druho, but don't allow yourself. Everyday party. They be now the Ghana is in chain. Now the party say chrono. You are endorsing criminality. You are endorsing.
We ain't somehow to him cause watching on so I'm not so Jim or the Senate or party in the Edomia. But since him, now Yasumo Constant.